What's good, man? You straight?
Yes, sir. What's the word with you? You got your hands full, man. I mean, like, I know URL trying to push you, but they not giving you an easy time out here at all, man. Chef Trez, and
Yeah.
now you standing in front of JC, a JC that gotta, you know what I mean, in our world might gotta redeem himself, you know what I mean, after the
Mhm.
surf joint. So you know he gonna be on one. Like, what's your what's your motivation? How you looking going into this?
Hell yeah. I had Loso last time. That was authentic. That had trash,
Oh, my
but I
bad.
had
I'm sorry.
Los.
Yeah, that ain't no slouch either. My fault.
Yeah, no, Loso ain't no slouch at all.
Yeah.
Nah, man. It's no, it's crazy. Like, I wanted. It was crazy. As originally they hit up JC for my final exam. Like that's some little
Mm,
shit that like. He was gonna be my final exam instead of Loso. It just it didn't work out at the time type shit. But I think what I did with Loso, at least when I have in my head, is that I think that kind of pushed him to like, all right, I'll take him type shit. And
okay, okay.
and I fuck with it. Like it's mad respect. If I respect, I don't like do that whole we battle unless I gotta act like I don't fuck with dude. Like, if I respect you, I respect you. It's mad respect for JC. It's just that I got some shit that I gotta prove to some niggas
Mm,
type shit. Me being included, me being one of them niggas.
okay, okay. Let me ask you this, right? Because I feel like when people just get on here, like you said, they want you to talk crazy about your opponent and not, you know what I mean, give props and all that. It is entertainment, but one thing I want to know, what's the biggest thing you learned in the Loso battle moving forward now, if you could tell it? Like after battling Loso, you done with that battle. What's your biggest takeaway from that situation?
Presence. I think
Mm,
presence is like you know, being, you know, I've always been a guy that like, man, my material has always been like best on the card, top two on the card. Ain't many niggas in this shit that write better than me, and I truly believe that. And like anybody that hears me, that's just like a consistency.
okay.
But that presence though, like being felt in the room, it's a whole different thing. Loso is one of those guys that whether he's battle rapping, doing poetry, whatever, his presence is felt. So that was a good test for me to see that up close and be able to study it and the difference between, that great presence and then like where I need to, work on or where I need to add to and shit like that. And so I think JC is also another great test for that. I think JC has pretty good presence as well.
Yeah, I definitely think he does. But what I wanted to say to you is like, we take the JC and Surf battle where I feel like you kind of, if we talking prototypes, people would classify you under the JC. You know what I mean? Prototype heavy with
Right.
a pen. What happens when? What have you learned watching him versus Surf? Where it's like he's saying a lot of crazy things and his pen is crazy, but if somebody's simpler and more performance heavy, usually in battle rap, that kind of overpowers the person with the pen. Like, do you try to say, all right, at some point I'm gonna turn into, and when I say that, like, not trying to be like nobody else, but like we all take certain pages out of people's books. Like I feel like Kid Chaos is like a hybrid of a pen because he's a
Right.
performer and with the pen. So like when you see
Right.
situations like JC and Surf, do you say, all right, yo, the crowd is just hating on JC, or do you say, yo, nah, he should have, you know what I mean? Like he needs to
Nah, I
have,
think
yeah.
I think JC, I think he took a poor approach. I think that strategy is a motherfucker. And I feel like no one, when it comes to strategy, I don't think there's many that like study the game and do and like work as hard as I do when it comes to that aspect of battle rap. And I think he took a poor strategy. I don't think that was anything that was like, oh yeah, he was too intricate, too much pen. Nah, I think that he just took a poor approach and paid for it. But
Okay.
as far as like just dumbing down or whatever to try to appeal to the crowd. I don't really do that shit. I adjust. I
Mm-hmm.
adjust for sure. I think that's a mark of a great man and a great performer is adjusting. So I adjust, but I came this far because of how well I write, and I'm gonna go further because of how well I write, and I'm not gonna hold back for nobody. This culture is very intelligent. Y'all can
Mm-hmm.
keep up.
Okay. Okay. Um, when when you come out of this battling JC, like what is the what do you want? Because a lot of people say, Klutz, he's dope, right? I haven't heard nobody that's came in here so far say that they don't think you nice, but everybody says, yo, it's too early to be going against the likes of somebody like JC. Like, what do you say
Hmm.
to people that say that feel like, yeah, you should get this JC battle, but just not right now. Like, you need more, you know what I mean, wound scars under your belt, I guess they would say, before you
Right.
get in the ring with somebody like this.
I think that um, experience is the best teacher. So I think that realistically, they can feel like, oh yeah, I'm taking J or I got JC too early, and whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, the way I look at it is that the only thing that JC has over me is experience. I genuinely don't think he has anything else over me in this battle shit. But that nigga, but experience is a motherfucker, and
Mm,
experience is something that I can't prep for. It's something that I have to, I have to just learn on the fly. I can't make up for that.
yeah,
So I understand the impact that it can have on the battle, and I understand that I could do everything that I needed to do, and experience could take over. But
mm.
I'm not really paying attention to that because I can't control it.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, right? Because you said something in there, and that's a testament to your pen for how you being slick. But I peeped something. You said the only thing he has over you is experience. So is it safe to say you feel like your pen is better than JC's?
Absolutely. I don't think that is a discussion to be had realistically if you are familiar with me. Now, look, y'all
Mm-hmm.
aren't familiar with me yet. I don't expect y'all to agree with me because y'all aren't familiar with me yet. That wouldn't even be, wise on y'all's part. But
Yeah.
you'll just have to see. You know what I mean? Me being me and knowing what I bring to the table. Anybody that you could ask that knows me, like that knows what I bring to the table specifically, they'll tell you too. I don't think JC is an amazing writer. He just isn't me when it comes to that. But like I said, experience is a motherfucker.
Mm.
I'm not, and you can't win a battle with just writing. I could
No.
outright the shit. I could outright him like crazy and still lose. So like, I'm
Absolutely.
not sitting here saying that I'm gonna outright him and beat him like that. No, I'm just saying that in that one aspect of battle rap, he's not better than me.
Got you. Now, let me say this for the people that's going to watch this on YouTube and the ones that's live on Caffeine right now, right? The calls that I got about Klutz when he first came on the horizon, just so you know, because we got to keep it 100. People hear you say this, even though you said if they're not familiar, you know how battle rap is, they're going to say, yo, he's delusional, he's crazy. The league owners called me and said, this is the new Loaded Lux. This is how I was presented about you. I don't even know if you know that. You know what I mean? Like, this is what they calling and telling me when they are, you know what I mean, telling me about you, because that's how it works here. Somebody has a breakout performance. They called Lux during his Crucible battle and had him heard it. So that's how much, I don't want to say faith because that's like you don't believe in it, but that's how much confidence the URL has in his talent, because this is what, you know what I mean, the guys upstairs were saying to me. So I just want that to be put out there for anybody that thinks you're crazy, because they are gonna, you know what I mean,
Of
think you're
course, yeah,
crazy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be
they
totally honest
definitely.
with you during the interview. Like, I would say you got a pen. I don't know if I could stamp, you know what I mean, it's better than, you know what I mean, JC yet. I
For
want to
sure.
see it, but I'm also a firm believer of, you know, the best teacher is actually making it happen. Like, I'm a battle rapper, so I know it don't matter how good somebody is, no matter how much experience somebody got, everybody has their day where it could be your day
Hmm.
to get smoked, or it could be your day to have, you know what I mean, the life changing performance.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
it
and like that's what this shit is about, man. It's not about me just saying, "Oh, I write better than JC," and not expecting to be able to back it up. Like, no, I need to, I need to showcase that. Like, and that's all that it is. Like, man, I know what I can do, and I know that, like I still remember my crucible when Bills introduced me to Chilla, and he said, "Hey, man, this is like the next Lux."
mm-hmm.
That's exactly how I told Chilla. And like in the middle of me rapping, Chilla was looking like completely in awe, like in shock. And that's Chilla Jones. So like I just really feel like you know, people will come around. Like, yes, I have a million things that I need to work on. A million. There's so much that I can, grow in this battle shit. But when it comes to writing and the material that you put on paper, it's not many. There's not many.
Hmm. Got you. My I got two more questions for you. One more is there anything that JC does or any skill that he possesses that has you worried or something that brings you with concern where you like, yo, I gotta this is what I gotta prepare for. You know what I mean? I might run into some trouble if this happens on the 22nd or 23rd.
He's dangerous. And now, like I'm not going to speak on the experience again because I already spoke on it. And like I said, when it comes to experience, I'm not worried about it because it's inevitable.
Mm,
It's inevitable. There's nothing I can do about it. Um, so I already know that's just an aspect. That's an uphill fight when it comes to experience. But like, no, man, JC, like he can get into a bag because like I say I'm a better writer than him because I think I'm that good. When it comes to JC and how well he can pin that shit, I've never in my life like there's an immense skill gap between JC and the best person I've battled when it comes to writing. Like period. I think and I'll say it straight up. I think Loso is probably the best writer I've battled to this point. I don't think it's even close right there when it comes to writing between
mm,
Loso and JC.
okay.
So like I've never had while I think I write better than him, I don't write better than him on a bad day. I don't write better than him on a mediocre day. I write better than him on my best day. And I have to be on that because if I'm not, what he can do with a pen and what he can do with his delivery, he can like JC not only knows how to write his shit, he knows how to deliver what he wrote to get the most out of that concept. And that's a very good skill that I'm still working on my damn self for sure. So that scares me more than anything. Not necessarily the pen, but the way that he delivers what he writes.
Mm,
That part of it, like the impact that he can put behind a punchline sometimes. Like he can make a regular punch turn into like a crazy punchline like the shit he had for Chef Trez with the fucking Chris Benoit shit. That punchline, I could have said that and it wouldn't have been as fire. But
mm.
he put a certain he put a, I mean like he put a certain delivery to that punch and it hit crazy. So that scares me more than anything, if anything was to scare me.
Okay, okay. Now that's a detail. I mean, that sums it up. Like I said, because when I'm doing conducting these interviews, I don't want to just ask. You know what I mean? You know the shit that's gonna make them go, oh man, he's bugging, he's delusional. Like I want to get the real, because we all got things we concerned about if our opponent is able
For
to
sure.
execute it that we got to worry about. So I like you say that. My last thing, I'm gonna just run the battles by you. You know what I mean? As unbiased as you could be, because I know you holding it down for the newer generation. You let me know who you got winning.
Right.
Saflare Soul and Rum Nitty. Who you got?
I got some flair. I got some flair 2-1.
Okay,
Uh
I mean
I ain't gonna call
now before I
yeah,
wouldn't have
I ain't
said
gonna
you was
call it 3-0 or
delusional,
nothing like
but
that.
yeah.
No, I call it 2-1. I think Flair brings a certain feel. Like Flair brings that nostalgia. Like you just I'm watching as he's rapping against Chess and against Foots. Like the crowd relates to him. He says shit that is just like from his past as fire. Like certain like and I think he can put imagery on a bar that is just like that like a lot of people don't pay attention to. Like you hear the humming first, like slave music. That is like that's an imagery punchline.
That's
That's not just
hard.
like a
That's hard.
regular whatever. That's that shows a skill set. That's poetry. And I like Souffleur, people might sleep on his pen. I think he can write his ass off. His performance is fire, and he's a star to me. I think he is a plain star. I got him 2-1.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said except him winning. But what you call it? Who you got? Chef Trez or Twerk?
Twerk.
Okay.
La Rock was Trez. I think Trez. One thing that is to be to because I'm a student of the game, bro. So one thing that I have studied, one thing that I can look at in this battle is Twerk has a style that is easy to rebuttal. I
Mm,
predict Trez to have a wicked rebuttal. He'll probably still around off something like that because I think Twerk's style isn't so deeply intricate. It's a lot of flips and face value punchlines that are just phenomenal. Like he
mm-hmm.
hit the what he does is just ridiculously phenomenal, which is why I have him winning. but it will open up a good lane for Trez to get a good rebuttal or two off.
Okay, and T Top and True Foe.
Foe just had me losing, so I guess I'll go T top probably.
Hilarious, hilarious. What about O Red and Fonz? That's another good one.
That is another good one. Oh, Red is one of my. A lot of people don't know this is one of my biggest inspirations. I'm a huge O Red fan. I rarely ever have him losing in my predictions, so I'm gonna go with O Red. But Fonz ain't no slouch at all. Like Fonz, Fonz shocked me against Nitty, and it's hard to bet against him after watching that. But I'm gonna go with O Red.
Okay, you gonna go with O Red?
Yeah,
All right, got you. Well, I ain't gonna lie, man. Get to it outside coming up in a few weeks, man. I will be in the building. Everybody's gonna be watching on the app. It's gonna be a lot of people in attendance, man. You got your hands full,
so
but I definitely like how you talking with your confidence, man. And I seen you battle, and I heard you rap outside of the battle, so I definitely know you get busy. So I'm definitely
hmm
interested. I'm gonna be front and center to see how this plays out. Good looking for pulling up,
appreciate
bro.
it. Hey, appreciate you, man. Salute.
Got you, got you. Everybody shout out to Klutz. Everybody